Hi, we're going to start working on our Mosaic cane, which is the fourth in our 2-week series for Canadian Master Cane Builders. I hope that you have done in the past your jelly roll canes. Do you remember we did these? We rolled up 2 colors of clay together, made a jelly roll. We also did a bullseye cane. You can see this. And we were to save them. We did a Skinner blend cane, and we did some stacked canes. So I've got 2 of them here. Now, when we make a mosaic cane, all we're really doing is making an assortment of canes that we've already done into the shape of a triangle. If we make that triangle equilateral, that means that when we finish, we can reduce it and extend it long enough that we can cut it into 6 equal pieces. Those 6 equal pieces will fit point to point and make a hexagon. Then if we reduce that, we can take slices and make jewelry, cover boxes, or do anything that we want. So we're going to do a really simple mosaic cane just with the pieces that we have here. I've also got a lump of black clay and a lump of red clay in case I need some filler somewhere, and you'll find that happens on occasion. So what we do is we start by deciding that the top of our triangle, of course, will be a triangle. So I can take any one of these pieces and say, okay, well, this will be the top of my piece. So I can take this cane, which is a really nice jelly roll, and I can reshape it by pointing the top and pressing the bottom down into my work surface so that I have a nice triangle, and that will be the top of my cane. Now, the cane, of course, will be a bigger triangle than this, but this is a really good beginning. I can straighten the edges of this, get it all the way around, and there we have a nice triangle. I'll cut off the end so you can see it clearly, and there we have a nice triangle. Now, for underneath the triangle, I need to put something else. So let's say I take our Skinner blend cane, take a knitting needle to make it more interesting, and I'm going to press down into the Skinner blend cane to make a groove, nice groove. And then I'm going to take another cane. This is my bullseye cane that I made with the little row of stacked cane around it. And I'm going to place that in the groove, press it down, make sure that I have the right length. I'm supposed to have at least 3 inches, so I can cut this piece off. Take my triangle cane, which also is supposed to be 3 inches long, and it was when we started, but once we made it into a triangle, it extended larger, so I'll cut that piece off, put my triangle right on the top, and I now have my Skinner blend, a cane pressed into it, my triangular blend, and I can see that I need some filler in along the sides. So what will I use? I have a Skinner blend stacked cane. I could cut that and use it on the 2 sides if I reshape it. So let me see if I can just cut that in half and change it into a triangle by pressing the top into a point and leaving the bottom flat. And if I do that, I should be able to lay that triangle along the edge here. Do the same on the other side. Mind you, you never have to make your triangle exactly the same on both sides. If one side is different than the other, it won't really make any difference because your 6 pieces will make the pattern for you. So let's see, I put these 2 triangles on each side of my cane this way. Now all I have to do is press them down to continue that triangular shape. When I've done that, I can cut the excess off. Just move that over to my junk pile. Cut the excess off the front. You can see the beginnings of, well, maybe what's a really nice cane. We have a pointed top, and I'm going to extend that and make it a little bit more pointy. and it slopes out on the sides, which I like very much. Now I can add some more. Now let's see, what if I take my jelly roll cane, cut that in half, and I could use half of it on each side to extend my piece even wider. Now I've got to bring it down to the floor, down to the bottom with my thumb, press it down, and keep the line of my triangle going. Same thing on this side. Press down so I can see the line of it, but keep my triangle going nicely. So here we are. It's going very, very nicely. Last but not least, I have a striped cane. I think I could use that for the bottom piece, but as you can see, it doesn't quite fit. So I'll take my roller and I'll just thin it and widen it a little bit so that it's going to make the floor of my triangular cane for me and give me a nice striped pattern. I like that idea. So let me just get that off the ground. Place that on there, like so. Trim it all off so you can see it. Trim off the back. And I think we've got enough of a triangle that I can leave this cane out altogether. I don't think I really need it. Now it's just a matter of taking my cane and reducing it. This is when I use my surface. I'm going to use my lines and I'm going to place my triangle on a line, press it down, and I'm going to try to press the other side down so that it's approximately 1.25 inches. So just watch my lines as I go, pressing and pulling, pressing and pulling. Turn it, put the top on the line again, and again we're going to press and pull, get our pieces so that they are extending, making the cane longer, and turn, and again. Press it to the surface. I know the back line where I'm looking is right on the line. I can lean over a bit and see if the front needs to be brought in or brought out. It looks to me like it needed to be brought in just a little bit. And so that's what I'm doing. Now, you can use a tool of some sort if you want. You can use your blade to help you straighten and get your fingerprint marks out. You could turn it. Check again on your measurements. Make sure it's exactly right. This is a little bit out, so I'll bring it in using the blade so that it's nice and straight. All right, turn it again and check. Well, this is really coming along nicely. Pull it in, and here we have a nice cane that is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches long. Now we need 6 pieces. If we're going to take 6 pieces out of 4, that would be, well, a little less than 1 inch each, 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch for each piece. So let's cut off the end piece, and let's start. And this will be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just pull this out a little bit more to make my 6, and I think I'm good to go. Okay, let me slice it. Now, 3 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's what we wanted to accomplish. Now this is the pattern that we're getting. You can see that. And when we take these pieces apart, they all do exactly what we want them to do. And almost any canes that you might put in will give you that look. Now this is very pretty looking together. I can put it that way. I can put it in with the orange striped at the bottom. I can put it in any number of ways. So take your pieces, decide how you want it to look. I think I'm going to have the yellow pointing down to the front. So match them up on top and on the bottom, front and on the back. Once you have two pieces together, just set them aside and let's do the next two. Same thing, press them together. We've got perfect triangles, so we know they're going to fit. So I have two more here, and my last two. And somehow or other, this one ended up being just a little bit taller than it should. So I'm going to adjust that. And match it up, front and back. Now we should be able to take our pieces and put them together so that each pattern matches and meets in the center. Now do you see how these pieces all match and meet? Now it's a matter of reducing. And since this is rectangles, we have an octagon, or sorry, not an octagon, what is it called? I forget. My mind's gone blank. I'm too old for this. Regardless, I'm going to begin to reduce it by squeezing in the middle and working my way around. All right? Squeezing in the middle and working my way around. Now, if you're only making a brooch or two, you don't have to reduce this all that much. But if you're actually trying to make a cane that you will use many, many slices of, then you will have to. Now, you can leave it in the exact hexagon shape, or you can round it out and make it a round cane. That's entirely up to you. For that matter, you can make it into a square cane. But already you can see that it's much, much wider than it was. We try not to lose too much on the ends, but if you go slowly and continue to press in the middle, give it a waist, and then work your way to the edges, pulling slightly, you're going to see that it will get longer and longer. Now, I like making jewelry from pieces like this, so I'm not opposed to having not too much and having it a fairly big shape. But if you want to have a very tiny reduced cane, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, here I have a flower cane. And again, it's 6 pieces, sliced evenly, put together, and then reduced to about the size of a quarter. Here I have one that's reduced more to the size of a nickel, another flower cane. Flower canes, like mosaics, are done basically the same way, with either 4, 6, or 8 triangles, and then made into the shape that you want. So I can roll this slightly if I want to, although I'm getting distortion at the ends, and I'm going to cut that off. Reduce and pull. And when I think it's okay, I'm going to cut those bad ends off, put them in my junk pile. I don't think I cut quite enough off. I'm going to have to go a little bit further. But I now have enough cut off that I have what looks like a really nice pattern for a piece of jewelry, a pendant, a brooch, and so there's that finished piece. Now, if you want to put pieces together, you can take, I could probably get 8 slices out of this, and you could put them into a larger sheet and make a veneer with it. If I were to make a veneer, I would probably square this off just to make it a little bit easier for myself. I would square it off, use my roller to get my edges squared, pinch my edges so that they're going to meet up nicely. Give it another roll. And I could slice this up and make a pretty nice veneer. If I put it right on my measuring sheet, I can slice it 1/4 inch at a time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a piece left over. I could place these pieces together, knit them together with my knitting needle or my roller, and cut a brooch from this shape. And I have this piece left over. Just roll this slightly to seal it each way gently. You're not trying to expand it. You might use your knitting needle where it's come together just to make sure that your edges are closed and they're not going to fall apart on you. And as soon as you think that you're ready, go ahead and get your cutter and you could make your brooch. So that's what master caning is. We're learning step by step together how to take a cane and do something different with it, to build on the canes we already know, to make canes that we didn't know how to do before. So this is Master Caners. My name is Susan, and I will see you next time. Please make your mosaic cane and send pictures in on the Facebook page so that we can all see them. Thank you. Bye.